yesterday with the not opinion, but the knowledge of that it is on the table, that it is being thought of. And it's not just the boat. It's not just the boat. There's some other things that I've heard. That's all. That puts some things in question. Are you all in? Are you all in here?
Wow, it's getting spooky. Scott Zolak on the hub, talking Stefon Diggs.
Yeah, man.
May get cut, and it's not just the boat. There's some other things. Are you all in? Are you locked in? Travis, Thomas, George Balekji, we're locked in for you here on Boston Has Entered the Chat. George, you hear that? Stefon Diggs gonna get cut, bro? Question mark? ...
You can't mention culture every other word in New England and tolerate someone that's not all in, that's one of your highest paid players in the locker room, and someone that is the leader in the wide receiving room. You signed him, you brought him in to help bring Drake May along in his development, but also to show the younger receivers, Kyle Williams, Jalen Polk, Javon Baker, Demario Douglas, what it takes to be a pro. And if he's not, what Zolak points out, it's not just the boat, it's how dedicated are you to your rehab? Because, yeah, they had voluntary. He's down in Miami partying on a boat. Okay, what's the rehab like? Are you up to speed? Dude, for all we know, I mean, that's where he could be doing his rehab and his workouts.
Sure.
Go that morning, go to the boat. Like, he's not going to spend 8 hours a day.
Right.
Right? That's what the questions are. And again, that's how Mike Vrabel is. If he says every time, you respect the team, I respect you, this coincides with that. Your commitment to the team. Can the Patriots exist in their wide receiving room if they cut Stefon Diggs? I say no. But they have to get the most out of him. And again, why you bring in a Mike Vrabel? He gets a guy like Stefon Diggs to be 100% committed to the team. That's one of his calling cards. He makes that stuff happen. This is his challenge. This whole thing. How does he discipline Stefon Diggs? How does he make sure this doesn't happen again? And how does he make it recover? That's what the big part is.
You make me sick with this, bro. I'm going all the way. Yes, because we argued about this when this guy got signed, and I told you then.
I
didn't see this coming.
Thank you.
But I told you then this was a stupid contract. And you're like, no, it's not. And then you just say, can this wide receiver room exist without Stefon Diggs? I don't think so.
And that's why it's not a stupid contract.
Okay, here's the deal. It is a stupid contract. I told you when they signed him.
Okay.
I said this was too much money. 4 years, 69 mil, 26 M's guaranteed, which you always tell me
that's
is a big thing that matters, right? That's not a prove-it deal. If you remember, when they signed him, I didn't necessarily have a problem with the signing, in theory, of a Stefon Diggs.
Yeah.
I had a problem with the money, honey, because I think at this stage of his career, you're not in your prime. The numbers suggest that. Look at his numbers. He's not in his prime. He's on the back end of that, if there's any prime left, by the way. Then you go to Houston, which is a team that's close. They need, in theory, a Stefon Diggs to get over the hump. He goes there. He's all right, but he's not. He doesn't get him over any hump. He gets hurt. Look, this is not the best place for Stefon Diggs, truthfully, and I told you this back then, too, was to go back to Houston. They still have issues at wide receiver in terms of injuries. Go back there, rehab, come back healthy, and show you can help C.J. Stroud go to the next level. Now, eventually he comes to New England because they paid him.
Yeah.
I don't even think Stefon Diggs had a robust market. All off season, you and I went back and forth about T. Higgins, who never hit the market.
Yep.
DK Metcalf, who was traded. All these guys. I remember talking about Chris Godwin, who's probably a little bit closer to a Stefon Diggs in terms of production and also coming off an injury. But Chris Godwin, throughout his career, has shown to be a leader.
Yeah.
Stefon Diggs has never shown that. I don't know what New England was thinking from the beginning. I did not see the boat. I'll give you that. I didn't see the love boat. But I thought, this guy's never shown he can be a leader. He's shown us theatrics on the sideline. He's shown us diva wide receiver behavior. Why are you giving him this money like he's going to come in and be a leader when he has never shown you that, and his production doesn't match up to what it did when he was in his prime? Now insert the love boat. I do not think Stefon Diggs will get cut, my gut. But I do think the damage has already been done. You're not the leader. Drake May, Will Campbell, all these young players who are so impressionable in that wide receiver room you brought up, which stinks, with or without him. No one's looking at you as the leader. You're the OG. We'll see if you can still be productive like you used to be, but you're not a leader. The damage is already done. If I'm the Patriots, I probably touch those pockets. I'll find them. I think he's probably already been cussed out by Vrabel. Maybe I run that back, cuss him out again. But you're not the leader. I don't think the league's going to get involved here. I don't think there'll be any
They can't prove anything.
Yeah, exactly.
The
There'll be no
Patriots can't prove
legalities.
anything.
There's no charges pressed. Like, he could pee in a cup. It could still be clean. That doesn't matter. I think you fine him, slap him on the wrist. But the damage has already been done. You are not a leader.
You can't fine him. NFLPA will step in and be like, what are you fining him for? Missing voluntary OTAs? He has the contract incentives, like a $200,000 bonus if he hits his workout incentives this offseason. $12 million signing bonus off the top. Again, you pointed out what the actual guaranteed money is. That's the important money when it comes to all of these contracts. He could still be the leader because we are talking about this at the end of May. He has all of June, July, and August to recover from it. I mean, the comical thing is him posting on Instagram to the month of May. Thank you. I love you.
Do we have that post? This guy.
What was the caption? To the month of May, I appreciate you nonetheless. Gotta stay focused. There it is right there.
Gotta stay focused.
I appreciate you nonetheless because of how it ended. Yeah, and part of staying focused is being focused on what cameras are around you, what cell phones are around you. He can still just be the leader because the Patriots cannot afford to cut him. They need to make this work. And it's not just money-wise. It is the roster construction they have. Because no Stefon Diggs in this wide receiving room. Okay, you have 30-year-old Kendrick Bourne. You have 32-year-old Matt Collins.
Gross.
You have Kyle Williams, who's a rookie.
Gross.
He's not gross.
Well, we don't know. Possibly gross.
All right, but here, you have Jalen Polk, year 2.
Awful.
That's fine. Javon Baker, year 2.
Stinky.
That's fine. Demario Douglas.
I like
Could
him.
be okay.
He's all right.
And then you have Efton Chisholm, who's an undrafted free agent. Exactly. That's a lot you're banking on. They brought him in because Kendrick Bourne did speak out after their trip to London. Guys aren't treating their body right, dieting, getting to their hotel room. They're out partying the night before. But it fell on deaf ears because in a way, it's like, all right, you're Kendrick Bourne. Who are you? Stefon Diggs needs to step up. This contract is worth it because you look at their wide receiver room. If they didn't pull the trigger on this, it would have been terrible. Chris Godwin said, I'm good. I'm going to stay in Tampa. They were able to negotiate with him. He's coming off a worse injury than what Diggs is dealing with. They never got to the table with the T. Higgins. They were never able to get there. They chose to sign him. They talked about being more thorough in their offseason. This is the test of Mike Vrabel. It's a good contract because I'm betting on Mike Vrabel to do his job. I'm betting on Stefon Diggs to be a professional. All the talk of diva wide receiver behavior, this isn't diva wide receiver behavior. And also, he's not the only guy that does this stuff. He's just the guy that was dumb enough to get caught and letting it being posted on social media. No cameras there. We don't know about any of this. And he's just absent for OTAs. Who cares? He needs to lock in. Like you said, got to stay focused. He needs to get focused. He needs to get Cardi B to stay focused, too, because that's someone that put him in this situation. It's a lot of moving parts. Hey, this is the state of the Patriots. This is the state of the Patriots. When you win 4 games each of the last 2 seasons, your head coach and his draft malpractice, former head coach and Bill Belichick and GM, and his draft malpractice, ran this entire roster construction into the ground. This is what you deal with now. You hire Mike Vrabel. Part of why you hire him is to get a Stefon Diggs in line.
Gotta stay focused is what's sending me on this post. Because if he had said, need to refocus or time to lock in, I could get behind it.
We're never
stay focused. People that don't get it, don't get that they don't get it. That's Stefon Diggs.
Yeah.
That ain't a leader, baby. Hey, thanks for watching. We always appreciate you rolling with us here on Boston Has Entered the Chat. NESN Nation, stay locked. And remember, get the latest up-to-date live. We've got Boston Sports Headlines, along with your daily dose of trending sports and social topics every weekday on Boston Has Entered the Chat. Catch us live at 8 a.m. on NESN and 9 a.m. on NESN Nation. That's every Monday through Friday.